and it's between another B team member, Ricky the Gao, on the right side, and Garrick, who is a Surrey player, on the left. And Garrick has been renowned a little bit for playing a lot of Durant, a lot of rogues. He likes his rogues. Well, it looks like he's playing something a little bit more standard today. He's got a Darkrai down, and he's got an Ultra Ball for Sableye. It might be, it might be Hammer time. It might be Hammer time because Garrick does like his Disruption decks. Yeah, and you know what? There it is. There's the Hammer, and he's going to get rid of Ricky's energy right off the bat. So Ricky had the first turn. Garrick's first turn is right here. Then he plays the N. Ricky starts with a lone Bouffalante. The Bouffalante itself is pretty darn good against EXs. It's another kind of regular non-EX, EX counter Pokemon, similar to Sigilyph, where Sigilyph doesn't take any damage. Bouffalante just takes reduced damage, but the plus side for Bouffalante is that it does way more damage than Sigilyph does. It does 122 EXs and does 62 regular Pokemon. So, did he pass his turn? He's thinking right now. He wants to try to get his Sableye up front so that he can use the Junk Hunt on his first turn, and he's going to Ultra Ball. Wait. He's going to take back the the Dark Patch and Ultra Ball away the Dark Energy. Okay. That's usually what you do anyways. Let's get another Darkrai down on Zerbench. And he's going to Dark Patch onto the Sableye and then pass his turn. He can't retreat into the Sableye, otherwise it would have been a really good first turn for him. Would have been able to get the Ultra Ball back and get back the Crushing Hammer. Ricky drops a Bouffalante. His new hand, is it any better than his previous hand? Because it looks like his first hand was pretty not so great. See how he only ended up with a Bouffalante. And Ricky again passes his turn. Oh, that is terrible. He sees the Gold Potion, and it looks like Garrick's going to have to grab the N again off of the random receiver. Alright, so Ricky with a little lackluster start here. Garrick is going to play another Crushing Hammer. Woo! Oh, did he get it? Nice catch. Nice catch, Garrick. And looks like he failed that one. In case you're wondering, when you roll dice instead of flip coins, even numbers are considered heads and odd numbers are considered tails. And that's how they determine it for using dice. And most people use dice. They consider it a little bit more even. Again, I like the coin flip. I prefer flipping coins. I like flipping coins for coins. And I will defend my right to flip coins. Alright, so he ends Ricky again, so hopefully Ricky will get a better hand this time, because it looks like he was off draw supports for a very long time. Garrick gets a Prism Energy down, and that reveals that maybe he has a Terrakion, a Shaman, or a Keldeo maybe even. Maybe even a Sigilyph. I doubt it. Oops, sorry, I bumped the mic there. But yeah, the Prism signifies that he obviously has a tech in his deck that is for something. The Prism is used to help, his other energies. But look at all that discard that Garrick already has. I think this is only his second turn. And he's going to Junk Hunt for the Hammer, and what is that other card? It looks like an energy switch. So he can switch that Dark Energy onto his Darkrai and attack next turn. Alright, so Ricky is going to Computer Search away an energy and his Mewtwo. And he is going to grab a card. I don't know what it is. Probably double colorless energy. So he can attack with the Buffalo. Buffalo. Alright. And wow, Ricky really likes shuffling. He should, you know what? I really appreciate people who take the time to really randomize their deck. I myself, I shuffled really fast because, shuffling is kind of a time waster. Oh no, he actually looks like he got an N off Computer Search. Wow, so 3 turns without a draw supporter in hand. He had to Computer Search for the draw supporter. That's not a really good position to be in, and I think Ricky really will take the time to randomize his deck here just to make sure that maybe they're all clumped up together. Who knows? It's gonna try to randomize it a lot, and always cut. Always cut when offered the cut. Never ever tap, guys. I just can't say this enough. Always cut. Even shuffle your opponent's deck if you need to. Not because people aren't trustworthy. It's just because eventually you might come across a guy who you might think is a little sketchy, and if you suddenly start, cutting, the guy be like, "Hey, you never cut for other people." So just always cut. Just make it a good habit of it. So he's going to plus power, does 60 plus the plus power is 70, enough to knock out the Sableye. Garrick drops a Tool Scrapper and gets rid of that one Eviolite on the Mewtwo. And that, to me, either signals he's trying to burn cards for Bianca, or there's the Terrakion, that's his tech. But yeah, either that or he has another Tool Scrapper in his deck that he's not really afraid. He's going to catch up the Mewtwo, and so Ricky did a good job there. He saw that Garrick got the energy switch, and he was hoping, Garrick's obviously hoping to be able to do a Night Spear this turn. And this is like turn 3, turn 4 here, and it's quite late for a Night Spear. And Garrick will have to wait yet another turn just because Ricky removed that energy from the board with the knockout. And Garrett's trying to see, what do I have in my discard? He's in a tough spot, to be sure. He's going to attach Fighting to the Terrakion? Maybe? No. There's not going to be a threat of a knockout right now. Oh, Garrett. Garrett's a little bit indecisive as a player. He's always starts an action, rethinks it, and ends up doing it anyways, just like that. It's something I've noticed with Garrett. But Garrett is consistently in the top cut, so he is a good player indeed. He's just double thinks himself sometimes when he doesn't need to, and he likes to play fast, but then always stops to think again. It's one of those kind of players, and he has to be careful about that because sometimes people won't let him take back his moves. So Ricky pulls the switch off the top, it looks like, and he's going to catch her up the Darkrai and plays Bianca and get some more cards, and I think he's going to swing for massive damage. Massive damage pants, yes? And he does have to keep an eye on that Terrakion on the bench, because the Terrakion with 2 energies can return KO his Bouffalon, and that will remove a really hard hitter for Ricky. Right now he's really overly invested on that Bouffalon. He does put an energy on the Mewtwo, so his Mewtwo will be able to back it up soon. But Mewtwo does really poorly against Darkrai, because Darkrai does have that resistance to Psychic. And if he managed to put an Eviolite on the Darkrai as well, which he does run, we just saw one there, off that random receiver. So effectively Garrick can do a minus 40 on all incoming damage from that Mewtwo if he drops that Eviolite. And alright, so there goes the Juniper, and a lot of energy is gone, including fighting energy. That's important to note because he's probably running 4 Prisms, 4 fighting, or 2 fighting, or something like that. Or even 1 fighting, who knows. But he definitely has more Prisms. He's going to attach an energy. Nope, never mind. I bet you he's going to end up attaching to that Sableye anyways. And he's talking to himself here, using his hand gestures to find. A lot of Pokemon players doesn't have a very good poker face. That's one thing I've noticed. It's very easy to read their poker face and tell whether you should end them or not, disrupt their hands or not. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like playing disruption decks in this format, is because you can tell from their expression whether you've done well or not. Alright, so he ends up attaching to the Sableye, retreats for it, and looks like he's going to junk hunt for some stuff. Takes a look at his hand, what he's got. Probably going to go Ultra Ball Dark Patch, or maybe even go for a Hammer, I think. Yes, he goes for an Enhanced Hammer and an Ultra Ball. Probably has a Dark Patch in his hand. Ricky, if he can get yet another... Oh, he's going to Tool Scrap that Eviolite away. If he gets another plus power, he can remove yet another energy off Garrett's field and take away another Sableye, and I think Garrett will probably only have 1 more Sableye left in his deck. Seeing how he has Techno Terrakion, probably doesn't have room to run all 4 Sableyes. Ricky's gonna heavy Ultra Ball, and he discards, it looks like a switch, maybe a Scoop Up? I can't really see. Yeah, one of them is definitely a switch. But there goes a couple of switches for Ricky. He has used one earlier to retreat the Mewtwo. So if he drops something heavy, not a bad strategy for Garrett would be to get hammers and catchers and just repeatedly try to strip Ricky's field down until he has nothing left, and just leave something heavy up front so that Ricky can't retreat easily. And so yeah, Ricky actually goes for the Terrakion, so that is going to be catcher bait for sure. That is something that if Garrett lands a catcher and say even a single Crushing Hammer on that Terrakion, Ricky is going to have a hard time trying to get attack because he's already burned 2 or 3 switches, and he'll have a hard time getting back and retreating. A heavy retreater like Terrakion. It's going to Bianca up. Bianca, did I see a Super Scoop up there? I might have seen a Super Scoop up. If that's the case, then Ricky actually has a few more ways to retreat his Pokemon out of the active spot if they get pulled up by a Pokemon catcher. It's going to attach to Terrakion, and he's going to do 60 to the Sableye. Not enough to kill it. Unfortunately, whiffed on that plus power that he was probably hoping for. Ultra Ball goes down. Nope. Actually, Ultra Ball does not go down. Garrett changes his mind. He's going to Energy Search for Dark Energy. Okay. Energy Search is really nice as well, especially in Garrett's deck because he can Ultra Ball the Dark Energies away and then Dark Patch them. But wait, no, yes, no, yes. Okay. And he fail searches. That's kind of interesting. I would probably just grab any old thing, even another Terrakion because he already has one on his bench. It's gonna Enhance Hammer the double colors away. Enhance Hammer, of course, can only take away special energies. He's gonna pull up the Mewtwo, Energy Switch that Dark Energy to the, and he's gonna do 90 to the Mewtwo and 30 to, looks like, the Terrakion. Yep. Okay. All right, what's it gonna be? Ricky's gonna go for the Scoop Up, so that is indeed, he's gonna go for the Coin Flip, and went off the table, and goes for the. Okay, the camera cut away there. I think. Probably what happened was they probably bumped the camera off or something and they had to fix it. Either that or the camera like lost power. But it looks like Ricky did indeed hit that Super Scoop Up, got the Mewtwo back, and got an Energy Switch and dropped another energy on his Terrakion and used Land Crush to kill that Darkrai. That was huge, but Ricky only has those 3 energies on Terrakion. If Garrick could somehow land a double Crushing Hammer, he would actually be in an amazing spot. He's going to retreat, Energy Switch. Oh, that, you'll never want to do that. Oh, that signifies that Garrick has a really weak hand here. The fact that he doesn't have any energies at all to put onto the Sableye, can't get an energy attachment down this turn, means Garrick is going to have it's going to be really hard pressed to do any attack in the next turn or so. He's going to have to get maybe even double Dark Patch, but Dark Patch is not going to be helpful if he loses that Darkrai, which can easily happen. He's thinking about it. There's a lot of things he can go for here. He's going to go for the Random Receiver and the Crushing Hammer, and I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, if you went double Crushing Hammer, you could maybe pray and come back from this. Garrett is cursing at the camera. It's probably jinxing him or something. But yeah, because the hammer is still a flip, and I don't know how I feel about that, but he's obviously hoping to hit something good off the Random Receiver, and maybe if he hits triple Crushing Hammer, he can remove all the energies from Ricky's side. Oh, what do we see there? Actually, I'm gonna rewind this a little bit, guys, just because I want to see what he discarded there. Oh, he discards a Ho-Oh and a Grass Energy. Oh, okay. That's a little different. Ho-Oh has an ability called Rebirth, where you can flip a coin, and if Ho-Oh's in your discard and you hit a heads, you can put Ho-Oh on your bench along with 3 different basic color energies. And that's actually a good response for Hammer, which is why Ricky's not really concerned. The Grass obviously signifies he probably runs a Shaymin EX, and he also shows that he has a Sigilyph in his deck, which means he probably has Psychic Energies, and yeah, he does have a Psychic Energy in his hand. Going to attach the Psychic to the Mewtwo, can Energy Switch at any time, and Ho-Oh is actually a good response to Hammers because it gets your energies back on the field, and then you just Energy Switch them up to your active, however you like, and just attack like Mayad. So this is actually a really bad matchup for Garrick, and on top of the fact that Garrick had a horrendously slow start, and is currently in a bad spot as well. Looks like Ricky's just going to take the straight KO and leave. Yeah, there's no way that Garrick can power up this Darkrai on a single turn. He plays the Crushing Hammer and tries to play the Random Receiver as well. And Ricky's like, yeah, just play that. Oh, he actually revealed more cards than he needed to, which is a little bit sketchy at this point, seeing how there's only a few cards left in his deck. and it's actually very beneficial to Garrick to kind of see what's left in his deck a little bit. But he has done searches before. He should probably have already have a good idea what's left in his deck, and the information he revealed actually helps Ricky as well. So he misses one Crushing Hammer, hits a second Crushing Hammer. That's not quite enough because if all Ricky needs is an energy, and it doesn't look like Garrick hit an Eviolite either. He's going to catcher and pull up the other Terrakion on the bench. Ricky just needs a... well, he can't use a Scoop Up now. Oh yeah, he can use a Scoop Up or a Swish. And he'll be fine. So there's a Swish right off the top. Double colorless energy, and that is game. So GG's around, shakes his hand, a couple of draw supports. There's nothing really left in Garrick's deck. He just had a really bad start there and a really bad time, it looks like. So both players were 4-1 at that point, and no doubt Ricky moved on to Top Cut after that match. If you guys enjoy these, let me know. I'll probably be doing more coverage when we hit the Surrey games in January. If you guys want to see the finals, the Top Cut stuff with commentary, do tune in to the Team BTCG channel. They'll be having those with commentary as well, instead of repetitive music. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Ciao.